Meredith, good morning. Thanks for the time. Let's start you with some of the new guys in Yankee camp. Max Fried looks like the fit is going to be perfect. He's off to a very strong start as a Yankee.
He is. He pitched in his first game the other day. We were actually there covering the game. And I have to tell you guys, I know you showed Roger Clemens earlier in the show, but a really cool moment after Fried came out. He spent about 2 innings talking to the Rocket. When I spoke to him afterwards about exactly what they were talking about, he said, I'm just going to keep that to myself for now. But there is a wealth of knowledge around Yankees camp this year. You had Roger Clemens, Andy Pettitte, CC Sabathia, Ron Guidry, just to name a few. And Max Fried is soaking that all up. He said, any guy that I can talk to that's going to give me any type of an edge on the mound is certainly a resource that he is going to use. And obviously his numbers spoke for himself throughout his career, but the Yankees believe that there's even more untapped potential in there. Max Fried believes that as well. So I'm curious to see, as this year unfolds, what else Max Fried adds to his arsenal or the way he approaches hitters, because the Yankees are certainly expecting big things out of him. And now without Luis Gil in the bullpen, they're going to need Garrett Cole and Max Fried to be Garrett Cole and Max Fried.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But Meredith, I tell you, the guy I think may be the most important Yankee this year, outside of obviously Aaron Judge, is Cody Bellinger, because of his versatility and how many ways they can use him. And we're seeing already the impact with injuries where Bellinger might be able to impact that team. How's his camp going? How are the Yankees liking him? Am I onto something with his versatility? Big stuff, I asked.
Big stuff. No, you're definitely onto something with his versatility. You're going to see him primarily in center field. But when you talk about that versatility, if they need him to play left field or Aaron Judge gets a DH day, he could slide over to right field. So he can do several things for him. And I think one of the best things about Cody Bellinger so far is he's gone to Aaron Boone and said, anything you need from me, just tell me. I'm willing to do anything to help this team win. And let's not forget, this is a guy that is very much in his prime. You look at that lefty bat in Yankee Stadium. The dimensions at GMS in right field are essentially the same in New York as they are in Tampa. We saw him drive one out to right field the other day. You think his swing is definitely going to play at Yankee Stadium. So I think he is poised to have a special year for the Yankees, fitting in quite nicely, as is Max Fried.
Yeah, I love the point about that ballpark, Meredith, too. I mean, the Rays left-handed hitters are licking their chops. They can't wait for the Yankees to get out of there so they can play regular season games there. Let's switch gears here and talk about some of the injury stories around Yankee camp. We know Luis Gil is shut down. They're saying about 6 weeks. What's the latest with him, and how does that impact the rotation for opening day?
Look, you feel for Luis Gil, especially coming off of the year that he came off of last year. Prior to that, he was coming off an injury, worked his way back, and they weren't expecting him to do what he did last season. If you remember, in Yankees camp last year, they suffered a huge injury. Garrett Cole went down. So it was Luis Gil that got the nod in the rotation and really stepped up. Now, they said 6 weeks, no throw, just to kind of make a comparison. And everyone does heal differently, so kind of take this with a grain of salt. But last year, Clark Schmidt had a similar injury. He was told 4 weeks, no throw. He went down in early May. He did not make it back until early September. So it is a long road for Luis Gil. They are still optimistic they're going to get him back this season, but that is a huge hole they are going to have to fill. Marcus Stroman comes to mind coming into camp. They weren't sure how he was going to fit in the rotation. He looks like he is going to be the guy that fills that slot, and they still feel pretty good about their depth. Will Lauren is a guy that we saw last year get a couple opportunities at the major league level. He did not fare particularly well, but everyone within the organization essentially said, we believe that his stuff is better than what he's shown at the big league level last year. And you're seeing that confidence growing throughout spring training this year. So I think he could potentially be an option as well, guys.
A lot of stuff. Hey, I got to ask you, off your right shoulder, off your right elbow, the significance of that picture down there. Who are you interviewing? Yeah, that one right there. Is that Cal Ripken? What is that?
Cal Ripken
this one is
in a Yankee uniform?
What's wrong with you? I covered the Yankees. No, this one is the captain, Aaron Judge. This is after he hit a home run in Toronto. Somebody in the crowd actually took that picture and sent it to me.
Harold thought it was Mickey Mantle because it was a black and white photo.
I know. And then we got this one here. We've got the greatest closer of all time, Mariano Rivera. And then should I keep going, guys? And then we
Well,
got
I'm
Derek
just wondering,
Jeter.
do
My
you
first
remember the
interview
moment?
with the Yes Network.
The
It was in
moment,
Toronto.
like, with that, with Mariano, we'll ask you that. What's the big press? What's he doing there with Mo? That interview.
That was his final game at Yankee Stadium for his career, and that was the post-game interview talking about the moment when he was taken out of the game. If you guys remember, two of his former teammates came out and got him on the mound, and you can just see Mariano Rivera, who typically is very cool, calm, and collected, just could not keep it together on the mound when Andy Pettitte walked out to get him and Derek, and that was such a cool moment in Yankee history. And then the one with Derek up there is the first interview I ever did with the Yes Network back in 2012. I'll grab it for you.
Yeah, we need to see that one now.
I'll see that.
Since Harold is prying into your personal
is
life
good.
and all
I
your
know, right?
photos.
Okay, so there we go.
That's
Were
cool.
you nervous? What were you thinking about? Were you prep with a whole bunch of questions? What was your thought going into that?
I think I was just trying to not screw up, would be my guess, would be my immediate guess. But it's funny. I had covered the Yankees for ESPN radio back in 2010, I think it was. So I kind of knew some of the guys. But when I got the Yes gig, the first person to come up to me was Derek Jeter. And he walked up and he put his hand out and he said, "Hi, I'm Derek Jeter." And I'm like, wow, if I don't know who Derek Jeter is, we are for a world of hurt with me as the sideline reporter.
Hey, one last question.
Yeah.
On the contemporary group here, are you done going?
No,
through
I'm finished.
Meredith's
I'm finished.
photos?
Is there anything else you need to see
It
in
was
my home?
fantastic. It was fantastic.
What about third base, Meredith? Because I know that they were relying on perhaps some contributions from DJ LeMahieu. He's been slowed down with an injury this spring, too. What's the latest at that spot?
So you're looking at Oswald Peraza, Oswaldo Cabrera as two guys that are competing for that spot. It looks like it's likely going to be a platoon situation or Oswaldo Cabrera really taking the reins there at third base. But when you look at Peraza, he could really pick it great defensively. So the Yankees have some decisions to make there. As far as DJ LeMahieu is concerned, he got an MRI the other day. It revealed a calf strain as we expected. They do not know exactly how long he is going to be out, but really tough for DJ LeMahieu, who all he wanted to do is prove that he could stay healthy during camp. He said to me in the clubhouse, it almost feels like this is some kind of a sick joke of this happening this early in camp. It was after, I believe, his first at-bat of the spring. He was DHing that day, first game that he was getting into of the spring. So you feel for him. You hope he's back soon. But right now, you take a look at the potential options there for the Yankees. And they have a couple spots open with the Giancarlo Stanton injury as well. You wonder how they're going to use that DH role. Is it going to be a guy like Dom Smith who works his way onto the roster? Who are they going to carry as the backup catcher? Will that be Ben Rice because they like his versatility as well? Not only could he catch, he could play first base and he could DH. So still some pieces in flux here for the Yankees heading into the 2025 season.
All right, this is it. I know Matt's looking at me. Everybody's telling me wrap it up. But look, we're going full circle. This is Women in Sports Month. We're celebrating this, and we talked about Susan's impact. I'm wondering who impacted you. What woman in sports kind of opened your eyes because you're a trailblazer yourself?
I would not call myself a trailblazer. I'm just trying to do a good job. But I mean, you mentioned Susan Waldman. In my personal opinion, she doesn't get nearly the accolades she deserves. Without women like Susan Waldman, I would not be in the position I am today. She deserves every bit of credit for having to endure some of those really rough years where she wasn't welcomed into the clubhouse, and women, quite frankly, weren't welcomed into the clubhouse. So I will forever be thankful and indebted to Susan Waldman, and she is my buddy on the road with the Yankees. So we do a lot of activities outside of covering baseball. So I will say Susan, especially when I got this job when I was younger, I was a girl that watched SportsCenter every morning before school. So I was a big Linda Cohn fan as well.
You've also got our mutual buddy Shahadi down there this week. So,
yeah.
I mean, I want to apologize in advance for the fact that Sephora has run out of eyeliner with her entering your state. It's all good.
Eyeliner, eyelashes. We're getting Trisha Whitaker into the fold tonight. We're all going out to dinner.
Oh.
And yeah, of course, it's going to be a 5 p.m. dinner, Matt. I know you were going to ask.
That's right. You knew exactly what I was going to ask you. Meredith, thank you. Great information. We appreciate it. Good to see you, and enjoy the rest of camp.